I remember when the movie came out. It was a big deal. It was a big thing, man. I remember a lot of people were watching it. You know, a lot of people who might not even been familiar with gangs at the time were watching the movie and seeing this. You know, what was the impact overall? You know, I mean, besides just inspiring people, you know, to do all
Well,
that.
I think at that time, 1988, 1989, it was a major uprising. Like I said, I didn't think I would live through those times. You know, it was everyday shooting. You got to figure back in those days, and people are complaining about right now, but back in those days, it was 900 to 1,000 homicides a year in South LA. I mean, in Los Angeles, period. So right now, the homicides in LA, you know, they're rising to upwards of 350, almost 400, but it's nothing compared to 88, 89, or even 1992, 93 had the most, 1,200, 1,100, and 1,200 homicides. So we averaged out at about 800 around those times. And so, you know, I want to say it made it okay. Colors and Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, it made it okay. It was telling a story, even the music. It was telling a story, but it made the story okay.
Mm.
You know, so it's what we're expected to do. It's what expected of us. And people will say, "Oh man, it's just sharing the experience." You know, this is the black experience, but there was never a solution. It was never the same amount of energy and input to quell the violence or stop it. It was just to show it. You know, so it wasn't a healthy balance of violence and then alternatives to violence.
I see. I see.
Right.
Okay, well, and now you've turned things around.
Yeah.
You do a lot of work in the community. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, even speaking alternative to violence, last year there was a big push for defund the police. One of the things we do at Lamert Park is we have ambassadors. So second call, we have ambassadors at Lamert Park, where every day we are the first responders. Instead of calling law enforcement, we're the ones who help with the mental health issues. We're the ones who help with the homelessness. So, I mean, the police can still come whenever they want, but I have 5 individuals who actually work at the park daily, and they help with the mental health status of individuals who need us to call the mental health to come out and help them, or the homeless population. We help them get relocated if they want it. But a lot of it is drug use. But what we want to do is stop LAPD from being confrontational with the community. So one of the things I do is I have ambassadors that work with me, and we're looking to expand that as well.
Has it helped out any?
Oh yes, definitely. Definitely. There, since we've been there, we got there in June, and from June till now, there hasn't been a excessive force, a use of force with LAPD in that area. Since then, my ambassadors work from dusk to dawn. There was one homicide that happened like 1 a.m, so my ambassadors weren't there, but it was in the McDonald's outside of Lamert Park. But there hasn't been any incidents reported from June till January 1st. So it's truly working out. You know, the communities come together. We brought the politicians in with the community, you know, brought them to sit at the table together. And the community stated that they had never had that before. So it's a number of things that's working. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, man. What is there anything else you're working on?
Oh yeah, a lot. We're also the job coordinators for Destination Crenshaw. So the council office, Council District 8, is building Sankofa Park, and they're building platforms from Slauson, which is Nipsey Hussle Square, from Slauson and Crenshaw down to Vernon and Crenshaw. So what they want to do is they want to have the face of the community working there. So, you know, anytime a job goes up, they have to have 30% of the community. But that could be 30%, could be Asian, white, Hispanic, black. But what they want to do is make sure that because this is a black platform to show that this was the historical value of the black community, they want to have the black face. So we're responsible for having 70% local hire. Not just 30%, but 70%, and the majority of having the black face. And so we're the job coordinators for that piece, working with PCO Construction and the owners of Destination Crenshaw. So we're actually helping people get employed, people who come from the community. And my goal was to have the Rolling 60 Crips and the Inglewood Family Bloods and, to work together on the project. And so far we've done that. So that's one of the ways that I bring peace to the community.
Well, that's what's up. And how long have you been doing all this?
I've been doing this since 2005. Before 2005, I used to run from this guy named Darren Bo Taylor. But 2005, when Tookie Williams was killed by the state of California, there's another guy named Ronnie Barron who was talking to students at the school. And I said, man, I got to get involved. This is what I'm home for. This is why I didn't get that life sentence, so I could help the community and do this work.
So ever since then, that's been your passion and your purpose.
Well, it's been my passion for the first 3 or 4 years, but then it became my purpose. And there's a difference between passion and purpose. With the passion, it's just emotion. So I'm just out there emotional, ready to help everybody. But with the purpose, now I'm serious about it. With the purpose, now I'm not dealing with emotions. I'm dealing with logic and reason. How can I help people? How can I really be a resource to the community? And I'm a resource to the community.
And how did you meet Melvin?
I met Melvin just doing the work. Melvin Farmer, he, doing the work in the community. He was one of the top people I had to meet. We used to have a softball league at St. Andrews Park, and I played softball up there. And I used to always think, about the different guys from around that area, because when I lived on 66 and Dinker, that's the same area. It's the A-Trade gangster area. So I met Brother Rayford, and I met Melvin, who are the main figures who started the A-Trade Gangster Crip. So
you guys been working together ever since?
Yes, indeed. Ceasefire right there on 79th and Western at the Bethel AME Church. That's where they had Tookie's funeral. And, Melvin's a major part of that community, from the history and for the future.